riding his bike while Matthew videotaped me with tears streaming down my face, laughing and crying at the same time. My neighbor Dervla had set up a table in front of my house with champagne for those who weren't driving, and even though I couldn't physically hug everyone, I felt those embraces from 6 feet away. That day was so full of sunshine, despite the actual overcast skies and even darker circumstances we were living under. I told Sean afterward that the celebration of 5 full decades on Earth during a pandemic was easily the best birthday I'd ever had. Vegas will always be there, but the day I had was something priceless that you couldn't buy. My expression in the video says it all. My birthday celebration was just one of millions happening across the world for the months we were all in lockdown. Car parades were just one of the ways people were adapting to the new normal. These kinds of stories were happening everywhere. The huge cheers and banging of pots and pans that you heard every night also featured on all the nighttime newscasts, originating from apartment buildings at 7 p.m. to salute our healthcare workers as they changed shifts. The opera singers on balconies serenading audiences of next-door neighbors instead of the opera halls they usually performed in with thousands of people. You heard and read about strangers using their stimulus checks to help businesses that were struggling to stay open, and restaurants that were donating meals to those who couldn't afford to feed their families. These real-life moments were sweeping the nation and being shared by millions through social media. We found out in this pandemic that kindness is also contagious. I've been reading and writing good news stories for many years now, and I thought I had seen my share of spreading sunshine. Then COVID-19 struck as I was halfway through writing this book. Incredibly, I started to notice more stories than ever before about the kindness and goodwill of others. During the most challenging times and the darkest of moments, the goodness of others shines the brightest. You'll hear about people in this book like Rebecca Mara from Washington State, who early on, before we really knew the scope of how bad the pandemic would be, bought groceries for an elderly couple in a store parking lot who were too afraid to go in to get items themselves. There's Robertino, the respiratory therapist who decided to attach a picture of himself smiling through his PPE so that his patients would know what he looked like underneath his head-to-toe medical scrubs and mask. And there's the school principal who decided to go door-to-door to congratulate each of his students who couldn't have a proper graduation thanks to the lockdown. My family needed bright spots because in March and April, we tragically lost both of my husband's parents to coronavirus. Along with thousands of other families, we experienced death without being able to see our loved ones before they died, unable to have funerals or celebrate their lives in the traditional ways we normally do to help with the grieving process. However, as we look back at these months of pain, we also see the moments of incredible kindness and sunshine that helped us get through it. I found that writing this book and sharing the stories I was working on with my family brought joy and comfort during these unprecedented times. Complete strangers became instant friends during the interviews, and I would feel so happy having that human connection, even if it was just virtually through an online teleconference. My son Matthew and I would go for walks in our neighborhood, and I would tell him about my book on the kindness of others. He couldn't wait to find out about the newest interviews I had completed and the incredible real-life stories I was learning about. I told him it's a great lesson to be able to find and look for these moments of sunshine and allow the bright light from others to shine through. We can be so powerful as humans when we are kind to each other. And it doesn't have to be big things. It can be just little moments between two people, like the story of the FedEx driver who took a few minutes to wipe down a package in hopes of protecting an immune-compromised customer. Kindness can cause a chain reaction toward others, like the man who sends roses to people who have lost their loved ones on Valentine's Day. From that chain reaction, a spark so powerful can begin a movement that spreads.